No one likes to feel angry, and no one likes to be at the receiving end of anyone's anger either. However, anger is a fact of life. So sadly, we must learn how to deal with it. This week, I put the challenge out to you on how to deal with your anger, and you did not disappoint. So here are this week's top 10 tips on dealing with anger. Our first tip comes from Kina Rost Powers from St. Louis, Missouri. Kina tells us that there are times when we just need to walk away. It can be very difficult in heated situations not to respond and say something that you will regret. So Kina says she works very hard so that she can keep her mouth shut. And the way that she does that is to force herself to walk away. Nancy Knight from Glenmount, New York takes tip number 1 a little bit further. While walking away is important, Nancy says that we need to keep walking around the office, around the building, around the block until you can think clearly. So walking away isn't enough. Keep moving until you can think clearly. And while we're talking about walking, Jasmine Kelly from Halifax, Nova Scotia reminds us that part of the reason walking away works is because it's all about exercise. Jasmine says that exercise so that you can burn out the aggression and burn off that adrenaline. If you exercise enough, you will be exhausted, and that exhaustion will lead to a night of good sleep. Many of us spend the entire night thinking about what we could have said or done, so burn it all off so that you can sleep like a baby. Number 4 is from Laura Thewalt from Houston, Texas. She reminds us that we need to slow everything down when we are angry. Laura says that she slows her rate of speech, her volume, and she will enunciate every syllable. She says that this regulation keeps her from behavior that might later lead to regret. So when we're in a heated situation, the adrenaline we feel causes everything to work faster. So by slowing down your speed, you'll be able to also reduce the adrenaline. Alan Ross from Ottawa, Ontario reminds us that sometimes we just need to laugh. Even if you're laughing at a thing that's making you angry, you'll still get a great endorphin rush. Then your mind will immediately prompt you to look for what is all about the situation that would make you laugh. You're not stupid. You'll find something funny. That thing makes this ridiculous or ironic or preposterous or just plain silly. Once you have reframed the situation in your head, you can often see that anger would not have provided the solution that laughter provides. Heather Bowman Rockburn from Toronto, Ontario brings us number 6. Heather says not to reply in a heated moment, but to take really deep breaths, inhale on a 3 count, and exhale on a 3 count. Now, sometimes do you find that reading emails makes you a little more angrier than face-to-face conversation? Brenda Hinauer from Happy Valley, Oregon says that she finds that she gets angrier with some email exchanges. So she asks herself when she's reading the email if she is making assumptions. That knowledge helps her pause and consider the intent of the email or the person. She's not alone. We often read too much into emails, especially if the relationship with the person you're communicating with isn't great. We will assume a tone of voice. We will assume a negative intent and with whatever they were saying because of the tension in the relationship. So Brenda says that if you assume a good intent first, you are less likely to react negatively. They may have written that email with no negative intent at all, but if you read it with a negative intent, your anger is natural. So force yourself to read it another way and assume only a good intent. Not an easy technique, but thanks, Brenda, because it does work. And Nick Stark from Ottawa, Ontario says that sometimes we need another person's perspective for the situation. Now at work, we often have our BFF that we can safely confide in. So by asking them how they saw the exchange can often give us a different perspective, as they won't always see it the way that you see it. This isn't necessarily venting, but getting a perspective from someone you like and respect. It also does give you the chance to talk it out with someone, which can help control your anger as well. Number 9 is from Bonnie McKay from Brantford, Ontario. Bonnie says that sometimes the best response that you can give is the non-response. Choose to say or do nothing in the moment. And sometimes this is the loudest response that you can send. Internally, take that deep breath. Don't change your facial expression, but say nothing. Think whatever you want in your head, but nothing makes it to your lips or your eyebrows. If you can do that, don't do that. And number 10 is from Lisa Olson Tilley from Naperville, Illinois. Lisa says she feels better when she writes an email. Now, don't get all excited because you know she isn't going to recommend sending it. Lisa says she feels better if she writes that scathing reply, but she ensures that she deletes it without sending it. Don't even send it to yourself. Delete it. As tempting as it is to send it, please don't do it. But it does allow you to feel like you said what you wanted to say, although you remained professional and did not. Give yourself a break from the tension, then respond like a rational human being. It seems as if some people are always calm, cool, and collected, while the rest of us struggle while dealing with our anger. The reality is that everyone struggles. That's why we are angry, because we are emotional. But some have figured out how to deal with that anger and the emotions. These top 10 tips will help you the next time that you are angry too. Good luck, and check out my dealingwithdifficultpeople.org website for weekly articles and help with dealing with anger and difficult people. Keep on the right track.